Today we will continue with IR spectroscopy. Till now we have done where IR spectroscopy is present, that is in the electromagnetic spectrum, where it lies, and then its range, and then we have done the law on which it is based, or the law by which tells us which molecule will absorb in the IR region or not. So that is Hooke's law. We have done in detail Hooke's law and the various factors upon which the vibrational frequencies of the molecule depends. Now we will continue with the principle of IR spectroscopy. Principle of IR spectroscopy. It is based upon that if the applied IR frequency matches the natural frequency of vibration of the molecule, then only the absorption of IR will take place, and which is indicated by the peak formed in the spectrum. So when IR frequency matches the natural frequency of vibration, then only the peak is observed, then only the absorption of IR will take place. And this is the natural, that molecules are excited to higher energy state from the ground state when they absorb IR radiations, and when a compound is exposed to IR radiation, it selectively absorbs the radiations, resulting in vibration of the molecules of the compound, giving rise to closely packed absorption bands called as IR absorption spectrum. And the band which is formed, it corresponds to characteristic functional groups and the bonds present in the molecule. So IR is considered as a fingerprint for the chemical identification. So the principle is, which IR frequency is applied, it will be absorbed by the molecule. It will give peak only if it matches the natural frequency of vibration of the molecules, and then they get excited to higher state and they selectively absorb the radiations, which corresponds to the functional groups present in the molecules and vibration of the molecules, and they also corresponds to the characteristics functional groups present in the molecule, and it considered as fingerprint region for chemical identification. So organic compound absorbs electromagnetic energy in the IR region. IR does not have sufficient energy to cause excitation of electrons as in UV visible. This we have already discussed, that is in the IR region only the rotational and vibrational excitations takes place, and it causes atoms and group of atoms or organic compounds to vibrate faster the covalent bond which connect them. That is, here we can show the comparison of UV visible, then IR and microwave. In this, if it is ultraviolet region, that is the radiation of ultraviolet ranges given to the molecule, then the molecule dissociates, the bonds between the atoms dissociate, and when the range of IR is given to the organic molecule, then the molecule only vibrates. That is, no dissociation of atoms takes place, no bond is broken. The atoms may be stressed, or may be asymmetrical stretching or symmetrical stretching or bending may take place. That is, molecule will only vibrates. But in the microwave, there the molecule rotates, the rotation of molecule takes place. So we have three different ranges of radiations where the different concepts are taken in UV, as we have already done, only electronic transitions takes place and in this molecule dissociates, and then in microwave the molecule rotates, but in IR with which we are dealing, the molecules only vibrates. And so we consider that the bond between the atoms, the bond between the atoms is considered as a spring. So spring can be stressed, or it can be compressed, or it can be bent, and so on the basis of this the molecule vibrates, and the vibrations can take place in different ways which we will discuss later on. So in the IR, infrared spectroscopy, we deal with only the atoms or group of atoms in which vibration takes place, between the atoms due to the covalent bond present in between the atoms. So in general, molecule in its ground state, it possesses 3 energy levels: electronic, vibrational, rotational. Rotational requires less energy, it requires more energy, and electronic requires still more energy. So the energy provided in the IR region can only give atom its rotational energy, means in the molecule only rotation can take place or vibration can take place. No electronic transitions can take place in the IR region. So these 2 energy levels can be seen. So in the absorption in IR region, we can say it is due to the changes in the vibrational and rotational levels. And when the electron absorbs less energy, as we have already discussed, rotational transitions will take place, and the spectrum observed is called rotational spectrum. In far IR region, it is visible in the far IR region. When the electrons absorb still higher energy, vibrational transitions can take place, and this spectrum is called vibrational rotational spectrum, because within the vibrational rotational transitions are also present. So, and it is present in the near IR region. So when less energy is provided, rotational spectrum takes place, and this is in far IR region. And when still higher energy is provided, vibrational rotational spectrum is obtained, and it is in the near IR region. So rotational in the far IR region and vibrational in the near IR region. So they are in the IR region, and electronic transitions takes place at higher energies, and these are not seen in IR. So electron transitions are not seen in IR, only rotational and vibrational transitions are shown in the IR region. The molecule, or say compound, absorb IR radiation. For this we have certain conditions, that is, the molecule must have correct wavelength of what? Of incident radiation. If the correct wavelength of incident radiation will fall, that is, the frequency of the incident light matches the natural frequency of the molecule, then only the absorption will take place. So molecule absorbs radiation only when the frequency of the incident radiation is equivalent to the natural frequency of vibration of the part of the molecule, then only absorption will take place. And then when the absorption will take place, then the molecule vibrates at increased amplitude, that is, the vibrational amplitude increases due to the energy absorption, and by this the peak is obtained in the spectrum. So suppose we take example HCl. If HCl has natural vibration frequency of its bond 8.7 into 10 to the power 13 per second, that is in the centimeter inverse, then the HCl molecule will absorb only IR radiations of frequency this, which matches its frequency. Then only absorption will take place and remaining radiations are transmitted. So the molecule which has to absorb IR radiation must have correct wavelength of incident radiation, that is which wavelength of incident radiation which matches its natural frequency, that is the wavelength of that bond of that molecule. And second is the dipole moment and symmetry of the molecule, that is the molecule which has to absorb IR must have dipole moment and must not be symmetrical, that is bonds in a molecule can absorb IR radiation only when there is a change in dipole moment. Change in dipole moment is important. There should be change in dipole moment. If no change in dipole moment takes place in a molecule, then there will be no IR absorption. So the electric charges positive and negative on the atoms of the molecule experiences forces in opposite direction, and the spacing between the charged atoms of the molecule also decreases. That is, the dipole moment is the main requirement for a molecule to absorb in the IR region, and the positive and negative atoms must be present, that is these charges must be present, and it will be present if there is a dipole moment. So these charged atoms, when vibrates, absorption of IR takes place, and if the rate of vibration in charged atoms is fast, they show intense absorptions. If rate of vibration is fast, then the intense absorption of radiation is obtained, and vice versa. So vibration transitions of these C double bond O, NH, OH, etc. occur to change in dipole moments, thus absorbs IR radiations. Means only that bonds which have dipole moments or which are polar can only show IR absorptions. So the symmetrical molecules which do not have dipole moments like oxygen, nitrogen, etc. will not absorb in the IR region, IR radiations. It is very clear from the bonds present in them. So even those symmetrical compounds like C double bond C shows dipoles, but they do not have change in dipole moment, therefore they will not show IR absorption. But if the symmetry of the compound is destroyed, example N, suppose ethylene and bromoethylene. In bromoethylene, symmetry is destroyed, so this will show the IR absorption, strong IR absorption due to the bromo group which is electronegative, and this creates the dipole moment in the molecule, therefore absorption will take place. And so main reason is bromine destroys the symmetry of the molecule, it destroys the symmetry of the molecule, and stretching of the double bond exhibits change in dipole moment. So change in dipole moment is the main criteria for the IR absorption. And when the polar molecule is exposed to IR radiations, stretching vibrations along with the internuclear axis of the polar bond are seen, that is stretching vibrations are seen. Hence electron distribution changes and a change in dipole moment is seen. So it's very clear that only the bonds with dipole moment will only absorb in the IR regions, and the symmetrical molecules will not absorb in IR region. So if we talk about the molecular vibrations, they are classified into two First is stretching and second is bending. So these can be asked. Write the various types of molecular vibrations in the molecules. They are of mainly two types. First is stretching vibrations and second is stretching vibrations and second is this bending vibrations. So there are two types of molecular vibrations. These are important. In the stretching vibrations, these vibrations are of two types. These may be symmetrical or unsymmetrical. Symmetrical or unsymmetrical means we suppose that the bond present in the atoms, here atoms are shown as a spheres and bond as a spring. This bond which is shown in a spring is an equilibrium bond length. This bond which is supposed to be like a spring, it can be stressed like this, it can be compressed like this. So there is always a equilibrium setup between the two atoms of the bond. Bond is always in equilibrium. It can be stressed or compressed, but after some time it comes to a stable position due to the spring nature of bond. If it is symmetric, stretching symmetric like shown in water, these two bonds will be stressed towards outside, means these hydrogens are pulled outwards from oxygen. If it is antisymmetric or asymmetrical, in that case one atom is stressed towards oxygen, second is away from the oxygen. So it is unsymmetrical and it is symmetric stretching. These are both are stretching, but it is symmetric because it is symmetrical. It is antisymmetric, it is not symmetrical. Okay, that is one is towards oxygen, second is away from oxygen. In this, both hydrogens are stressed away from the oxygen. Similarly, there are various types of bendings. In the bending, these two hydrogens can have different types of bendings in the plane or out of the plane. That we will discuss later on. So not all the vibrations of the molecule give rise to IR absorptions, because certain vibrations are inactive. That is in the symmetrical molecules. In the symmetrical molecules, there will be no longer dipole moment, change in the dipole moment, and so only weakly active in the vibrations are inactive or only weakly active. And because some of the absorptions bands involving similar and even different group overlaps, so not all the molecules show vibrations in the IR absorption, because certain vibrations are inactive and certain are only weakly active. So these absorptions will not be seen in the spectrum. Only strong absorptions are seen in the spectrum. So first we discuss the different types of molecular vibrations present in the molecule. First is stretching vibrations. Stretching vibrations, as we have discussed earlier also, these can be symmetrical or asymmetrical. Symmetrical means, as we have seen, these two atoms are pulled away from this atom, central atom, and in this asymmetrical means one atom is stressed away from this and second is towards the central atom. So the atoms of the molecule either move away or towards the central atom, but in the same direction. So it is symmetrical. Asymmetrical means one atom approaches towards central atom while the other depart from it. So stretching vibrations are of two types, symmetrical or asymmetrical or antisymmetrical. So next is bending or deforming vibrations. Bending vibrations means generally we require less energy to bend, and these occur at longer wavelengths because less energy is required, so wavelength will be longer as energy is inversely proportional to wavelength. Then the stretching vibrations. So bending vibrations are of different types. First in plane vibrations, second is out plane vibrations. In plane vibrations are of two types, scissoring and rocking. Out plane vibrations are wagging, twisting, which can be seen in this diagram, that is in this. In plane bending, that is scissoring, like a scissor. When we cut something, both the arms come together. So here these two atoms are moving towards themselves, therefore it is a scissoring, and it is in the plane. Similarly, in rocking, these two atoms, they will move in one direction, suppose to the right or to the left. So it is in the plane. In plane bending, it is of two types, scissoring and rocking. Scissoring is like scissor. So out of plane bending is again of two types, and first is wagging. Wagging means we are moving the atoms above or below the plane. If both are atoms moving in the same direction, or both are moving above the plane or both are moving below the plane, then both will be shown by positive sign, maybe above or maybe below, but in the same direction. So it is wagging. Twisting is one is moved above the plane, second is below the plane. That is, two atoms are moved in the opposite directions, opposite planes, one above and one below. So above is shown by positive, below is negative, then it is called twisting. So we have different types of molecular vibrations. Different types of molecular vibrations. These are of two types. It is important. The question can be asked, explain the various molecular vibrations present in the compound. So the various molecular vibrations are of two types. First is stretching, second is bending. Then stretching is of again two types, symmetrical and antisymmetrical. And similarly, bending are of two types, in plane and out of plane. Then in plane is of two types, scissoring and rocking. Out of plane is of two types, wagging and twisting. So this is all about the stretching and bending vibrations. Then next we will start in the next lecture.